Comme on nettoie la poussière d'une maison, nettoyons la société de l'injustice des enfants.
Les enfants sont des traits semés dans la terre, fragiles au vent, sensibles à la lumière. Si l'on néglige la pluie, si l'on cultive les racines, nous donnerons les fleurs, les feuilles, les racines fibres.
Cette justice n'est pas différente de torsionner. Il faut se courber, donc avoir de l'humilité dans le courage pour obtenir gain de cause.
La chaîne pénale pour les mineurs est comparativement à un travail du balayage. Ce travail nécessite un esprit de courage et une attention pour créer un environnement sain et propice.
Il faut donc assainir son environnement et son parcours dans la défense des droits des autres.
Les bébés de pommes, les mères volées, les enfermés, les pauvres, les enfermés, pour tous, les rivières, les pensées.
La justice pour les mineurs, c'est laver les déçus, c'est ouvrir les fenêtres à l'espoir, au futur.
Leurs voix sont le soleil, l'eau, la chaleur, ils ont besoin d'attention, de paix, de douceur.
Chaque enfant mérite une chance, un matin clair, sans peur, sans danger, sans chaîne à donner, pour un monde plus fort, plus juste et plus innocent.
Un enfant sans droit est un arbre sans feuilles, un oiseau sans ciel, un rêve sans rêve. Mais un enfant qu'on protège devient forêt, porteur d'ombre, d'oubli, d'humanité.
L'accompagnement judiciaire d'enfants confiés avec la loi lui vers une réinsertion familiale, sociale et utile à l'enfant lui-même dans sa perspective d'avenir.
Défendre leurs droits, c'est fournir la saison, c'est construire des ponts au bien des prisons.
Enfant de vie, enfant de vie, enfant de vie.
Offrons-leur la justice, offrons-leur l'espoir, tendons-leur la main.
All right, it works. Wonderful. Hi, everyone. Welcome tonight to our IBJ Youth Justice Charter Initiative fundraiser. Now, what you just saw there was a few words shared by some of our youth charter defenders. That is our team on the ground with youth projects fighting for youth justice. In particular, those were our youth charter defenders from Burundi and DRC, but in total, we have 21 in 7 different countries. What you just saw there tonight is why we're gathered here tonight. It's to talk about youth. It's to talk about the importance of youth, how youth can change the world, and the power of youth. First of all, I'd like to thank you all for coming. Your presence means an enormous amount to our cause. And a formal introduction to me, my name's Nathaniel Wong. I'm the founder of the Youth Charter Initiative, and also your MC for the night. So you'll hear a lot from me. Now, you're gonna hear more about the Youth Charter Defenders. You're actually gonna hear from them as well. Before we get ahead of ourselves, let's start with our welcoming remarks by Karen Sheh, the founder and CEO of International Bridges to Justice.
Thank you, Nathaniel. In the spoken word of somebody who came before us, may we be reminded here at Florimont as we gather of our highest aspirations, and inspired to bring our gifts of love and service to the altar of humanity. May we know once again that we are not isolated beings, but connected in mystery and wonder to this universe, to this community, and to each other. Thank you, Florimont, first, for being the host of this. It's been so generous, and we are so grateful for all of the support that you've given us for many, many years. And thank you to all of you here present have been walking with us on this journey. And as many of you know, International Bridges of Justice was founded because of an experience I had meeting a 12-year-old boy. Now, you might hear about a lot of 12-year-old boys, and it seems like that's kind of sometimes a crux point where some people get in trouble. But this particular 12-year-old boy, who I met back in 1994, was imprisoned for stealing a bicycle. He was tortured, he didn't have a lawyer, and he was languishing in jail. What I realized is that throughout the world, 3/4 of the population in jail do not have a lawyer, languishing in pretrial detention. And there are some pretty straightforward solutions in terms of systematic early access to a lawyer. So since that time, International Bridges of Justice was founded 25 years ago. Our defenders have taken hundreds of thousands of cases like that of the 12-year-old boy. We're working on systematic early access. And I will say that Youth for Youth is something else, which you'll see tonight. It's added an incredible dimension to all of our work. And I'm inspired and excited to hear from the Youth Charge offenders, as I think you will be too. As a parent, I always believed that we had a moral imperative to be with our children and also teach them the power of hope. What I realized through these days is our children has grown up, from children to teens to adults, young adults. They've taught me so much more than my conceptions of power of hope. And as you will meet so many of our incredible crew, youth crew that are here with us this summer, they've had conversations with me that have taught me about bringing in heart. So you see, what's Enti and Kailan are here? Are you here? You stand. They built this incredible spoken word. You'll be hearing from them later too as they invite you to the spoken word conference. But it's about also, they've insisted in this generation, bringing your heart, but also strategically, how do we move this forward? And I'm so inspired by our interns this summer who've also said, hey, we can reach systematic early access to justice for all today because of technology. We can build the world's first DPI for justice. We can make this happen. So in many ways, I believe truly this generation embodies Martin Luther King, who says, we must have a tough mind and a tender heart. I'm so excited to see you. Thank you, and without further ado.
All right. Thank you, Karen Che. I'd like to welcome our next speaker, and that's Sean Power, our host for the evening. He's the Directeur Général of Institut Florimont, and since taking the helm 21 years ago, Mr. Power has strengthened Florimont's reputation and excellence, expanding academic programs, deepening its commitment to multilingual education, and fostering a spirit of community engagement beyond campus. I can say all this because I am a previous student of Institut Florimont, as many of my peers are here as well. Truly, I'm honored to have this event at Florimont because I started this entire thing as a student here. And there's also a lot of people, a lot of classmates, like I see Alina here, there's also Ethel, there's Lily, who were really important in helping structure this movement. And we got together, we thought, what can we do? And those were really the seeds that we planted to create what exists here today. So without Florimont's education, I don't think I would have had the tools to start this, neither would have my peers. So I'm honored that we can come here tonight, sort of as a full circle moment. So thank you very much, Mr. Power. Thank you, Florimont. Now let's give a round of applause to welcome him.
Years ago, I was a child.
Thank you, Nathaniel, for that lovely welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, dear guests, it really is with immense pride and a great sense of purpose that I welcome you tonight to Florimont for this special evening dedicated to justice, to dignity, but I think above all to the unwavering power of youth. We're honoured really to host the Youth Justice Charter Foundation for International Bridges of Justice, an organisation I feel whose mission resonates very profoundly with our own. What brings us together this evening is not only a shared concern for the protection of children's rights, but a shared belief in the role of young people as catalysts for really meaningful change and really lasting change. And the Youth Justice Charter is, in my eyes, more than just a document. It's a movement, a youth-led global call to action to defend children, to end arbitrary detention, and to reaffirm the principles of fairness, legal protection, and human dignity for every child, regardless of their origins and regardless of their circumstances. Now, here at Florimont, we recognise that education must be more than academic excellence, and we like academic excellence. But it must prepare young people to act with conscience and responsibility in a world that is often complex and, in my eyes, more and more often unjust. So, rooted in our century-long humanist tradition, our mission is to help students become thoughtful, compassionate citizens who are capable of initiative and who are committed to the common good. And I can see that reflected in the alumni who are here tonight and the colleagues that they brought with them from their universities in the States. And these values here are expressed in what we often refer to as l'esprit flot, or the esprit de Florimont. And it's a spirit of mutual respect, of openness, of standing up for the vulnerable. It's also a culture of engagement, encouraging every student to give meaning to their talents by putting them to the service of others. And that spirit doesn't stop at the school gates. It reaches far beyond, through the actions of our students, and tonight especially through the actions of our alumni and the alumni of their universities. Indeed, we're especially proud that two of our former Florimont students, Nathaniel and Shikwin, are not only co-organisers of this event, but active contributors to the movement for justice. They and their whole team, who I've had the pleasure to connect with over the last weeks while you've been preparing this, I think they strive to embody what we strive to install, and that's the ability to lead, to speak up, and to act with courage and conviction. And their presence reminds us that education is not just a finished product at graduation. It's the beginning of a lifelong responsibility. The strength of any school, in my opinion, lies not in the lessons taught and in the grades achieved, but in the lives led by those who leave the classrooms. Our alumni carry forward the values of Florimont: respect, solidarity, and a deep concern for others. So this evening, as we listen to stories from defenders, witness powerful poetry, and meet those working at the very heart of this amazing global cause, I invite you to reflect not only on what has been achieved, but really on what still lies ahead. So together tonight, let us affirm the belief that youth are not only the future, but they're also the present. And their voices, when raised with clarity and conviction, have more power than anything else to shape a just world for all of us. So thank you for being here. We're delighted, honoured and proud to be hosting this amazing event for this extraordinary cause. And thank you for supporting this amazing initiative. Thank you.
All right. I'm also inspired to take the podium instead of the free mic. You learn everything, you learn new things at Florimont every day, as it turns out. All right, now, it is my honor to introduce Alexandre Robert Tissot, who is the founder and CEO of Our Computer and our opening speaker. Our Computer is an Apple distributed, but on top of retailing tech throughout Switzerland, ART specializes in integrating cutting-edge technology in classrooms across the world. Monsieur Tissot is a crucial supporter of global education initiatives, such as GIGA and the Malaika Foundation. He comes today as a strong advocate for education, global citizenship, and social responsibility. Join me in welcoming Monsieur Tissot.
Thank you, and good evening. I would like to thank my friend Nathanael and his father Alex Wong, Sean Power, for inviting me to be part of this event at Forum, and congratulations for this incredible initiative. I'm a firm believer in the power of joining forces. When schools, business leaders, and society work together, we can create a real change and build a better world with opportunities for all. My name is Alexandre Robert Tissot. I founded my company Art Computer when I was just 19 years old. I was able to do so thanks to the opportunities I had growing up in Switzerland, a country with access to quality education, with a functional legal system and a great business opportunities for those who want to embrace them. Back in 1991, when Apple launched the Macintosh PowerBook, I knew this was the beginning of a revolution. That vision inspired me to create Art Computer. From the start, I understood that technology had to go hand in hand with education, and I have dedicated my life to this mission. For over 30 years, Art Computer has been present across Switzerland, in Geneva, Lausanne, Fribourg, Zurich, Martigny, Lugano, Ruhr, Zurich, and in Spain and Madrid. We train thousands of teachers every year, guide schools in their digital strategies, and design tailor-made programs to integrate technology in a pedagogical, human, and ethical way. We have also chosen not to look away from the challenges faced elsewhere. In the Democratic Republic of Congo, the Malaika School in Lubumbashi welcomes 430 girls whose future without this school would have been marked by child labor, early marriage, and silence. Thanks to Malaika, these girls learn to read, write, code, and question, even in a fragile environment with daily power cuts, limited water access, and overcrowded classes. This school exists thanks to an exceptional woman, Noela Kosaris Musanka. Born in the Congo and sent to Europe at a young age, she could have built a life far from her homeland. Instead, she chose to return and create a free school for girls in a region where going to class is still a luxury. Noela is a living proof that a broken past can become a springboard, and that investing in one education can transform thousands of lives. At Art Computer, we support Malaika digital transition, managing their IT, training teachers, and working hand in hand with respect and care. As we do every year, our team of experts will travel again to Congo to train the Malaika teacher in using artificial intelligence in the classroom. And here at Florimont, you have acted. You have been part of this change of solidarity, and I hope other schools will follow your example. Every donation extends the impact, and every child equipped, trained, and supported is another step forward, a fairer world. To educate is to prevent, to connect is to include. Technology is not a luxury, it's a tool for social justice. Every connected school is a seedbed for a better future, and every young person giving a second chance is a life can still be flourished. As Steve Jobs would say, and Steve is of course my mentor, stay hungry and stay foolish. So continue with this beautiful initiative. Thank you.
A huge thank you to Monsieur Alexandre Robert Tissot for these words and for showing us such an inspirational NGO as well. Now it's my pleasure to introduce Geneviève Cadet-Millot. She is the Vice President of the Conseil Administratif de la Commune of Gentot. Now actually, Gentot supported the Youth Charter Initiative, generously awarding us 5,000 francs at the beginning of the program back in January 2023. And this support was foundational to us starting the initiative and funding the Youth Justice Charter Defenders. So a huge thank you for the Commune of Gentot, and it is my honor to introduce Geneviève Cadet-Millot. Thank you.
Thank you, bonsoir, good evening. I would like to thank Sandy for offering me this opportunity to attend this very inspiring event. Well done. And I will first introduce myself. So on a personal level, I'm a Florimond student mum, so I can confirm that everything which has been said before is absolutely true. And as mentioned, I was recently elected to the mairie of Gentot. And prior to that, I was sitting on the municipal council for 12 years. Gentot is one of the 45 villages in the Geneva canton. So we're talking about a very small community of about 3,000 inhabitants. And you mentioned we are all connected, so that's what I want to be talking about now, is a success story between a small village where not much happens and we're all kind of, happy to live there, and a broader horizon and more meaningful targets. So our council dedicates its budget to a wide range of areas. Some are very boring, like roads, a sewage system, infrastructure, and others are more exciting, like the environment or culture. Our communal values are solidarity, civic engagement, and youth development opportunities. So one big area is what we call social, which includes helping the local people in need, supporting the kindergarten, the crèche, organizing activities for the elderly. And basically the mission is for everyone to feel at home in our village. But that's not enough. We need to be a little bit more ambitious. So we have a history of, I think, supporting for a very long, decades, projects in Switzerland and also abroad. So in 2023, as it was mentioned, to give you some context, we selected 21 projects. We call it Aide à l'étranger, and this was out of 40 submissions. So one of these 21 projects was IBJ. And so I would like to emphasize that the selection process is quite strict, because we mustn't forget that this is taxpayers' money, so we can't afford to go wrong. So we use a pre-defined selection grid with a number of criteria. The breakdown of the allocation is a big focus on Africa, 63%, 29% Asia, and then the rest of the world. Europe also. Then we also have aide en Suisse, because there are lots of cases, and also we have a kind of emergency fund for Latin situations, or also abroad, floods in Pakistan. In terms of the areas we support, we really, again, focus on certain areas. Education, which is 37%, so I think the project falls in this area. 11% women and 9% agriculture. So now the success story is very simple. Basically, we made a contribution to IBJ, and it was allocated to one of the youth projects in Burundi, which we saw in the video. It allowed Anne-Bella Ikarotse, I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly, to lead a project for about a year, I think from October 2023 to October 2024. Anne-Bella was, and still is, a young journalism student. She was successful in recruiting a pro bono lawyer, and together they made prison visits, and they took on several cases of juveniles in prisons and secured the release of 17 children from wrongful incarceration. So that's basically, I think, a summary of this particular project. And Jean-To is extremely happy, really sincerely happy, to have made this small contribution, but which has had a very positive impact, it seems, and to be part of the project. And we wish full and continued success to the Youth Charter Defender Program. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much to Geneviève for coming in, speaking on behalf of Jean-To, but also for bringing her personal conviction and professionalism to this space. Thank you very much. Also, I live right next to Jean-To in Versoix, so I can personally agree with everything she said about Jean-To being a great, or I can say that it's a great commune. I pass it every day, so thank you. So now it's actually time for me to share a few words formally, and I'm going to talk about the Youth Charter Initiative, which you've probably, we've been talking about it all throughout the evening, but a lot of you are probably wondering, what is this Youth Charter Initiative? So I'm finally gonna, pull it off, pull the hood off the rag, or however you say it. The Youth Charter Initiative, the problem that we're addressing is the fact that there are currently 1 million children in prison. Now, when I tell that to most people, a really big reaction that I get is, oh, that's terrible, but they're criminals, aren't they? They did something to get there. The more that I learned about the subject, I heard about this statistic when I was pretty young, and I felt very disheartened. I didn't know what to do, but I thought I will do the one thing that I can do, and I'll learn more about it. And what I learned is that this notion of 1 million children in prison, and it's something that exists, but it's something that's sort of inevitable, I actually realized it is not the case whatsoever. My mother shared a pretty compelling story of a 12-year-old boy that she met when she was in Cambodia. I'll also share another story that personally moved me, learning about this entire issue. She said something about 12-year-olds, that being the age. The person that I'll speak about also happens to be 12 years old. He was a 12-year-old boy from the DRC, and his name is Noé. And he was arrested for stealing a pastry from the local grocery store. What ended up happening is that he was immediately thrown into an adult prison, and he suffered terrible abuses. Not once in his entire month's stay did he ever get to see a lawyer, nor did the prison officials protect him from the abuses he faced with the adult inmates. Now, this should have never happened, not even on a moral standpoint. It is illegal for children to be in the same cell as adults in this country. But because of cracks in the system, because of the fact that he was a boy who was quote-unquote forgotten, these were the abuses that he faced. Another example was a 14-year-old boy. I read his case, and he was arrested for stealing a pair of shoes that was worth 80 cents. He was put in prison, and he spent 3.5 years in jail. As it turns out, he never underwent trial. And when he finally did undergo trial, after IBJ lawyers found him, it turned out that he was innocent the entire time. This isn't the case of a boy who was wrongfully convicted. This is the case of a boy who never got to see the conviction in the first place, who never got to see a lawyer, and thus he was forgotten, and he spent 3.5 years spending the better part of his teenage years behind bars, suffering terrible abuses. So this is the issue that we're facing. 1 million children in prison, and countless amongst them are people like Noe and Buddha. However, it doesn't matter, whether you're guilty or not. It's just the simple principle of letting every single person and letting every single child live with dignity. It is this idea that we have 1 million children in prison. Oh, but a lot of them are criminals, aren't they? That's what lands them there in the first place. It's because we have this mentality
work which he not supposed to wanted to, and he shared that how there were other children in the jail who were also forced into sexual assault and drugs, but they were helpless and they couldn't do anything. I very well remember that he was fortunately got identified one of the visit that was taken place by one of the child rights body in the jail. But he was not only the one, he was fortunate enough to get a legal representation and later got acquitted and get out of the jail. But that is only one child we are talking about, but there are hundreds of child and I would say thousands of child in India with the evidence on record that are still in jails across India and who needs support and a proper system which can be worked out only through sensitized government stakeholders who are responsible for it.
Thank you very much, Krishna, for your response. I will ask it now in French. Pour Noël, est-ce que vous pouvez partager une anecdote en particulier d'un enfant que vous avez travaillé avec?
Voilà, merci encore une fois Nathaniel. L'anecdote que je voulais partager avec l'assistance ce soir, c'est le cas d'un enfant qui était déplacé dans l'un des camps dans le territoire de Massissi, c'est dans l'est de la République démocratique du Congo. Cet enfant, malheureusement, il était accusé de viol. Alors, il était âgé de 15 ans, accusé de viol sans investigation nécessaire. Cet enfant était traduit devant la justice militaire parce que depuis 2022, les provinces de la partie est de la RDC ont passé sous la gestion militaire et même la justice a été militarisée. Malheureusement pour cet enfant, il avait été emprisonné, incarcéré pendant 2 ans. Et donc, il était emprisonné alors qu'il n'avait que 15 ans. Alors, il a passé 2 ans en prison. Il n'était âgé que de 17 ans encore. Et pour nous, heureusement, voilà, les circonstances ont fait que lorsque nous faisions le monitoring avec l'équipe de jeunes avocats qui sont dédiés à accompagner gratuitement les enfants, nous avons été intrigués par cette situation et il était question de s'enquérir plus pour savoir quel était le véritable problème parce que visiblement cet enfant paraissait jeune et donc il était très important de mener à notre niveau des investigations et nous avons constaté que cet enfant n'était âgé que de 17 ans. Pourtant, selon le traitement qu'il subissait, il était assimilé aux adultes et il a passé 2 ans en prison sans pour autant voir les juges ni avoir accès à des avocats. C'était une situation très triste et dramatique. Alors nous avons essayé de faire de notre côté le plaidoyer à tout le niveau. Et heureusement que son cas a été transféré au niveau du tribunal pour enfants. Donc, il a quitté l'auditorat militaire pour le tribunal pour enfants. Son dossier était fixé. Après trop d'audience, cet enfant a été reconnu. Certes, il y avait certaines situations qui faisaient ou qui concluaient à sa culpabilité. Cet enfant était reconnu, certes qu'il avait commis certains actes, notamment le viol, et l'enfant était placé dans un centre de rééducation et d'encadrement des enfants. Cette situation nous a beaucoup plus donné l'espoir et la chance de considérer qu'il y a plusieurs enfants dans les coins du monde qui passent ou qui traversent ces situations et qui manquent tout simplement l'accès aux services d'avocats qui n'ont pas quelqu'un qui pourrait servir ou défendre leur cas afin qu'ils soient rétablis dans leurs droits. Peu importe qu'un enfant soit coupable ou pas, ses droits doivent être respectés. Il a droit à un avocat, il a droit à un procès équitable et tel est notre vœu et tel est notre credo qui nous accompagne dans toutes nos actions. Et cela nous permet d'aller de l'avant et de pouvoir travailler avec engagement et détermination. Merci.
Merci beaucoup pour votre réponse, Noël. Et it's such a pleasure to hear from them again. You know, every time we're together, it's like a classroom environment, and Noel's always the first one to raise his hand. So it's great to hear from them as well. Maintenant, Annabella, est-ce que vous êtes prête pour votre réponse aussi?
Oui, merci beaucoup. Je pourrais vous partager une anecdote concernant un enfant qui s'appelle Pacifique Nimouana. Était un enfant burundais de 17 ans, et originaire de la province d'Orutana à l'intérieur du pays. À cause de manque de kits scolaires et par ignorance, il a abandonné l'école très jeune. Il n'a fait que 2 ans à l'école. Pacifique Nimouana était un apprenti mécanicien âgé de 17 ans. Nous l'avons retrouvé dans le cachot où il s'agit d'une cellule très encombrée. L'enfant était emprisonné avec plus d'une vingtaine d'hommes adultes dans une cellule d'à peine 3 mètres carrés. À l'intérieur de la cellule, tout le monde était obligé de rester torse nu. Malheur sur malheur, toute personne nouvellement admise au cachot doit subir des actes de violence, des coupes et même des blessures pour lui souhaiter la bienvenue et l'obliger à payer des frais d'occupation de la cellule. Certains enfants avaient des blessures énormes sur les jambes, etc. De l'extérieur, j'ai été frappée de notions vraiment d'entendre et en train d'être bâtie par l'air de tenue. De ce jour-là, nous avons décrié cette situation et sollicité l'intervention immédiate du garde de cachot pour arrêter ces actes de barbarie et de violence. Mais ces faits arrivent de jour à jour et personne n'a l'intention de les arrêter. Et concernant les faits autour d'arrestation d'enfants, Nimouana, il a été arrêté et amené au cachot le jour où il était en train de vaquer à son boulot de mécanicien. Il s'est vu arrêté sur accusation d'avoir volé un petit téléphone mobile d'une valeur environ 50 000 francs, c'est-à-dire environ 17 $. Ne reconnaissant pas les faits, Pacifique a rejeté en bloc toutes ces accusations. Sans tarder, son accusateur l'a conduit au cachot. Lors de l'interrogatoire devant l'officier de la police judiciaire, il a réitéré sa non-culpabilité. C'est ainsi que nous l'avons trouvé désespéré au cachot après 10 jours de garde à vue. Lors de notre entretien avec l'enfant en conflit avec la loi Pacifique Nimouana, il a insisté qu'il est véridique et qu'il n'a jamais volé le téléphone mobile. Nous avons plaidé auprès de l'officier de la police judiciaire en charge des enquêtes. Donc, il était question de lui montrer qu'il n'y avait aucune preuve que le téléphone a été volé par l'enfant Nimouana. En plus, nous avons insisté sur l'importance de la liberté pour l'enfant au regard de la valeur minable et modique du téléphone. Alors, en plus, le fait que l'enfant souffrait au milieu des adultes, des hommes adultes et plus âgés, sans pitié, qui commettent des actes de violence sur leurs détenus a été un autre angle d'attaque. En fait de compte, l'officier de la police judiciaire a décidé de lui libérer immédiatement. L'enfant Nimouana nous a vraiment remercié pour notre visite de cachot car il a dit que sans notre visite, il serait encore enfermé. En bref, il est urgent de s'intéresser des droits des enfants en conflit avec la loi car il y a des centaines qui souffrent dans les cachots. Merci beaucoup pour votre question. C'est ma réponse.
All right. Merci beaucoup, Annabella, pour votre réponse. So we have one final question, and this one it's going to be more style like rapid fire questions in respect to the program that we've established. But for this question, you have this opportunity to speak to an audience in Geneva. What is your message?
Thank you, Nathal. I would like to say this gonna be something that very personal to me. That every time I have only shared one of the stories from India, but there are many such stories that if we start sharing and we're gonna realize that how we are compromising with the life of the children who are in jail. I still remember that word of the child that he lose his hope in jail and he never felt that he's gonna come out. So this is only one story, but every story that I have come across, and one of the platform that has been for me was Youth Charter Defender, where I have worked on the issue very intensively and which actually helped me to get a lot of evidence and do something on the ground, not only with the stakeholders but through judiciary and some individual initiative that I could have taken because of some such opportunity. Today when I have to give you a message that once you go out today out of this meeting, when you get back home, do think about those children who are still in the jail, who still are in the condition where they're losing their hope, whether they're going to come out or not. In such a situation, such opportunities, such platforms, and organization like IPG Global, who has been working on these issues constantly for years now, without me mentioning that. So this platforms becomes very important because when we say that children are the future of the nation, and if they are the most valuable asset for any country, and those children who are put in jail and not have access to justice in terms of legal aid or any awareness that they should not be in jail, I think it's very complete injustice to them. And we need support, we need people to work over it, we need to work with the existing system to make this work. And I personally feel that we can only provide dignity to children, only provide with supporting them by not only coming out of jail, but actually serving the purpose of the law is to reform and rehabilitate them. So this is the only message today I have for all the guests who are sitting over there, that do think over this child, that still when we go out at home, there are many children who are still in jail and just losing hope. And our efforts of like-minded people is very important for such children. Thank you.
Thank you, Krishna. Je vais maintenant poser en français. Donc, maintenant, on va faire en style rapide, comme nous avons décidé sur le programme et comme nous avons discuté avant. Quel est votre message pour les personnes ici à Genève dans un point succinct? Merci beaucoup.
Voilà, merci encore une fois, Nathaniel. En effet, considérant la situation actuellement, nos capacités d'intervention ou la situation de manque de protection des enfants est au-delà de nos capacités actuelles. Et donc, c'est une situation très dramatique. Je vous parle à partir de Goma, une ville qui est sous occupation rebelle depuis janvier. Il n'y a pas de prison formelle, manque d'autorité de l'État. Ce sont les rebelles qui font la loi. Il y a ouverture de plusieurs cachots qui opèrent aujourd'hui. Les enfants, d'ailleurs, le récent rapport des experts des Nations Unies font état de plusieurs cas d'incarcération d'enfants dans des cachots, les cas de torture, les cas de recrutement forcé d'enfants. Et donc, il est pour nous un devoir et aussi un souhait de voir ces projets s'étendre et rencontrer à tout le moins la grandeur ou la gravité de la situation. On aimerait étendre ce projet, impliquer plus d'acteurs, faire en sorte que nous puissions contribuer à l'atteinte notamment de l'objectif, du 16e objectif de développement durable. Donc, créer une société où il y a la justice, il y a la paix et où il y a des institutions fortes, des institutions solides et efficaces. Ainsi donc, en posant un acte de générosité ce soir, en donnant votre don, vous sauverez des rêves de ces enfants qui ne savent plus à quel sens se vouer. Ces enfants qui voient leurs rêves s'éteindre. Ces enfants qui n'ont pas quelqu'un qui peut les défendre. Ces enfants qui pensent déjà les repères. Et donc, votre don, votre acte de générosité pourrait sauver ces enfants de se détacher de ce système judiciaire défectueux et ainsi permettre à ce monde d'être un monde où il fait beau vivre, un monde où il y a la justice, un monde où on partage de bonnes valeurs, un monde où il n'y a pas de prison qui freine ou qui brûle les rêves des jeunes, un monde où on respecte les droits des enfants, un monde où on donne la parole aux jeunes et où les avis des jeunes comptent. Merci, Nathaniel.
Un énorme merci pour ces mots, Noël. Je pose la question à Annabella pour conclure le panel. Allô Annabella, est-ce que vous êtes prêt à donner votre réponse?
Est-ce que vous pouvez répéter la question?
Dans un point bref, pour respecter le programme que nous avons établi, quel est votre message que vous aimeriez donner aux personnes ici à Genève?
En fait, je dirais que l'initiative d'IBJ est vraiment appréciable. C'est-à-dire que défendre les enfants en conflit avec la loi, c'est sauver leur vie, c'est préparer les cadres de domaine, car protéger les enfants, c'est protéger la génération future. C'est-à-dire que faire un dos, vous allez sauver des vies des enfants, vous allez libérer les enfants en conflit avec la loi, encore les libérer, les libérer dans les cachots, car ils vivent la mauvaise vie dans les cachots du fait qu'ils subissent des actes de violence encore jeunes, c'est-à-dire qu'ils ont vraiment des remords dans la vie. C'est-à-dire que le don, faire un don, c'est sauver des vies, c'est sauver la vie des générations futures. Merci.
Un énorme merci, Annabella. Can we give a round of applause to our panel? All right, now that our panel is concluded, it is my honor to also introduce Tissot, Country Program Manager of Myanmar, to share a few words from the perspective of the Youth Charter Defenders from Myanmar.
Okay. Hello, Karen, Sanji, Nathaniel, and dear guests and speakers and everyone. My name is Tissot. I'm a lawyer, human rights advocate, and country manager for IBJ's Myanmar program. It is an honor to be here tonight to celebrate IBJ's youth justice initiatives and also to share the inspiring work of the 3 young defenders from Myanmar alongside the other dedicated fellow young defenders around the world. So I have prepared a little bit of a brief presentation. To kind of provide a background of the context as well as why we designed for Myanmar and the impacts and also looking forward. So Myanmar's justice system is one of the toughest environments for defending the rights of children and youth. Right now, under the military regime, youth are being targeted by unlawful conscriptions. They're pushing them to flee to other countries, and they are being punished by political charges for the democracy movements. And access to lawyers for the political detainees, especially when youth and students are arrested, it is very rare. The detention conditions are harsh. Last month, we have lost a 25 years old female political prisoner inside the prison because of lack of healthcare, access to healthcare. And also legal professionals, lawyers, human rights defenders are also facing restrictions in their work. In this context, IBJ works to make justice real for those who need it most through early intervention, legal representation, strategic litigations, and holistic approach. And also public legal education, which can mean a difference between a child losing hope or finding a second chance, because these type of change needs not only for the direct beneficiaries like children and youth, but also their families, parents, friends, and the community itself. So we have to bring them all together. So we connect with service providers of other disciplines as well, in addition to our legal expertise, to meet the needs of the prisoners, including juveniles and youth. And we empower communities with legal knowledge and legal awareness. And we also provide trainings and capacity building programs for the next generations of legal professionals through internship and clinical programs and youth initiatives like IBJ's Youth Justice Initiative. In 2023, our former interns, Yin, Sanda, and Lele, received IBJ's Youth Justice Initiative Award for their child rights advocacy project in Mandalay. So with IBJ lawyers on the ground and the mentorship, in-house mentorship by the senior lawyers in Mandalay, they could reach out to children in juvenile detention, government juvenile detention facilities. They offered peer-to-peer support in the facilities. They engage in multiple stakeholders advocacy, especially to break the social stigma against juvenile defendants and prisoners, and also to sensitize the needs and the access to justice requirements for youth and children. And they also analyzed child rights law and practice in Myanmar and promoted integrated IBJ's Youth Justice Charter in their project. They also collaborated with other organizations that are helping children and provided mental well-being activities like play therapy inside the government detention facilities. It helped the youth in the detention heal, find hope, and see their own values, because when you empower them and you have do it together and the youth and children in the detention facilities, they were able to express their emotions, remorse in some cases, because we have youth and juveniles who are facing criminal trials and also who are convicted of criminal offenses. So they could express their emotions, remorse, and sometimes how much they miss their parents, and importantly, hope. As you can see in this slide, the sticky note reads, so I translated it in English. I was arrested and sent to the school for political offense. I should have listened to my mom that day. I miss her so much. So this is part of an incomplete expression of emotions by juvenile, a male juvenile in the detention center, and he was arrested and sent there because of the political participation, maybe a protest. We don't know. He didn't mention that. So this show the work the power, and also the kind of inclusion, like you empower them, you include them, and also to give a pathway to continue and also to hope for. So these pictures depicted well. I just prepared a very short presentation. But the journey of the youth defenders was far from easy because they face questions from the authorities, restrictions in their access to detention centers, and they were even banned from using the words like human rights or justice during their awareness sessions. But they adapted, they persisted, and delivered impact that will last beyond the project. And I believe that this initiative is it's showing the power of mentorship. It was designed to kind of collaborate and work with the existing IBJ missions in country programs. Resilience, experience, and also, importantly, intergenerational learning, passing the torch from one generation to the next. In our Myanmar program as well, we train them not only with the legal skills, advocacy, and strategies, but also with program management, security assessment, because they have to work in a hostile legal ecosystem, given that the country is facing these challenges right now. And risk mitigation plans, like also to kind of adjust their programs depending on the situation. So this is of all the investment we can make in stock market or crypto currency such. But investing in young people is the most valuable, in my opinion, and it is long-lasting, meaningful, and the most impactful. So I am here today honoring all the young defenders and also the initiatives and the continued support. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Tissot. We've been sitting a long time. You can clap with your feet like a stadium, a football stadium, no problems. Yeah, that's for all the panelists and everyone who connected online. Now we're gonna hear some closing remarks from Clarice. Clarice Morgan is the former director of the Rules Division at the World Trade Organization. She's a board member of IBJ Swiss Council, an advisor to the Youth Charter Initiative, and the first ever funder of the Youth Charter Initiative program. Clarice's mentorship, expertise, and support has been invaluable to the development of our program, so it is a great honor to welcome Clarice Morgan.
Thank you, Nathaniel. Wow is all I can say. Wow to what we've just heard, not the praise to me. Anyway, good evening, everybody. It's great to see you all, and I'm here tonight, as Nathaniel said, as a core funder of this incredible initiative, this youth initiative, since the very beginning. And I'm really, really happy to tell you why. I want to start just by briefly thanking everyone who's supporting this initiative, with special thanks to Florimond, Mr. Power, Mr. Stetler. The support has been just exceptional, and it shows. And I think Florimond is rightly proud of its alumni, Nathaniel and Noah, who launched the initiative's first wave, as you heard. Since he was a small kid, I've seen how moved and inspired Nathaniel has been over the plight of children entangled in the justice system. And now we've all heard from youth defenders themselves about the real difference the Charter and Defenders Initiative are making. We heard, giving these children back hope, giving them back their very lives. And that's what it's about. That these are such vulnerable people, and this gives them a chance to have a life. More than 1 million, as we've heard, are in prison worldwide, very often mixed in with adults, and we heard what that brings about. They're generally not aware of their rights. They don't have anyone in their corner for legal defense or even for decent living conditions, not to mention any education or psychosocial support. And so, as we've heard, they're just at extreme risk of having their rights trampled forever and their futures utterly ruined, and that is just wrong. So this initiative, the Youth Justice Initiative, which was created by youth for youth, as we've heard, directly challenges this situation, this status quo. And these defenders are bringing the words of the Charter, which are self-evident, they're basic principles of human rights, to life, case by case, person by person, through their successful defense of young detainees, through their rights awareness campaigns for the general public, including, very importantly, the youth themselves, and through provision of psychosocial support to help these kids reintegrate, to get a life together. I've been so inspired and moved by Nathaniel's and Noah's passion, and so I was really genuinely excited to say yes to providing core funding when this movement started, and I'm very, very proud of the result. And what I love is that this is creating, or has created already, a network that's there, it exists. It's not just one-off project and we're done. These folks are super engaged and they're making networks and they're keeping this going. And you know, they've had tiny grants, very small budgets, and they have made a very big impact, including by marshaling support from their local IBJ offices, getting pro bono defense attorneys to help them, and even soliciting support from judges and government officials. And that's just the beginning. This is just from the pilot. So I was asked to make the pitch, so here I am. My call to each of you, there are two things. It's simple. First, please sign the Youth Justice Charter. There are QR codes for that, and the wonderful team of interns who are working with IBJ this summer can help you with that. And equally, if not more importantly, and as you've heard from our youth justice defenders, please join me in financially supporting this quiet revolution in justice for youth. Reach into your checkbooks, be very generous. As you've seen, what you contribute, 100, 1,000, 10,000, more, will be very well spent. Your gift will be transformative for individual children in great difficulty. It will give them a chance to turn their lives around, and it will help to construct a just society from the ground up by instilling in young citizens a passion for and a commitment to justice for all, especially the most vulnerable. IBJ's interns will help you to donate. There's a QR code for that too. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much, Clarice, for these words and, of course, your continuous support and mentorship. I'm also going to now invite Kylan and Inti, who are going to perform slam poetry. They're the ones who made the initial video that you saw, the curtain raiser, and they're the ones who led a workshop for these youth charter defenders so that they had a guidance in how to express themselves. So they've been valuable team members this summer. I know, Monsieur Stedler, Mr. Power has provided some wonderful refreshments and food right outside, but first let's hear some art, nourishment for the soul perhaps. Thank you.
Hi, so I have a question. Do you remember your last birthday? How you celebrated with cake, candles, people? Whatever your traditions may call for the anniversary of your living. Do you remember your 17th, almost the end of your teenage years? I remember mine. I called into question my adulthood, but it went straight to voicemail. And a phone number should carry no weight, should be nothing but arbitrary to a child. But take a 17-year-old's reality from Burundi and you'll see how oppressive numbers can be. He was taken to a cell 2 meters too small for having a phone worth less than $17. And no one left a message for truth. No one asked to hear his words over the soundtrack of silence. Murmurs over questions, over injustices, the cell rang and no one answered. In Burundi, 45% of the country are under 18 years old, and children in prison often aren't questioned, heard, or respected. Who do you call on when the operators of injustice work within the system? Bad faith connections between guilt and poverty, the criminalization of entire generations leave children to spend birthdays behind bars, broken up from their communities. On the line are hundreds of thousands of children's rights. Getting hung up on this injustice is a moral imperative, because every year we unknowingly pass the anniversaries of birthdays in prisons. And today is not a birth, it's a wake-up call. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm in Tissot. Thank you all for coming and being here. I just wanted to say the same workshop that we gave to the youth justice defenders that led to the video being created is going to be held in a more condensed version, so much shorter, later today. So everything's already pushed back a little bit, but maybe at around 8 p.m. if you're around the reception area, you'll probably be able to find your way to the workshop that we'll be holding. So yeah, we're looking forward to seeing you there if possible, and we want to hear your story, and we hope that you could show up and share your story. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for that wonderful performance. I have a lot of thank yous to do, and I do it with pride and with sincere gratitude. Once again, thank you to Mr. Power and Olive Roymore for hosting us. Thank you to all of our wonderful speakers. Actually, yeah, you're right. We need to applaud every time. Thank you to all of our incredible speakers who came and animated the discussion tonight. We have Mr. Tissot, we have Geneviève, Madame Caillot, and we have Clarice Morgan. Thank you. Thank you to the Geneva Gospel Choir. We'll hear a great treat from them later, very soon, in fact. And thank you, in this audience, there's so many people who have helped forge this initiative. Thank you to Sanji and thank you to Vadat for Sanji is the International Programs Director of IBJ. Vadat is the CFO. Sanji, you can stand up if you'd like. His contributions are incredible. We also have Akashi right next to Sanjay, another fellow youth and someone who's helped with the program as well. We have Alina, as I've called you 2 times already, but another round of applause for Alina. And Esther, who's also a part of the team but cannot join us tonight. And finally, I'd like to thank the team who helped organize all of this. You can all come up. We got Toby Chow, we got Kevin, we got Inti, we got Kylan, Christine, Rebecca. I think they're outside, but maybe take it. Yeah, come in, come up, come in. We got Kylie as well. Supreme, he's up there. This is the team who helped bring this together. And also represent the spirit of youth, the Youth Charter Initiative, tonight. So yeah, here we are. Finally, I'd like to thank you all for coming here, for being the participants, for being the audience. Your presence means so much to our initiative. I talked to the Youth Charter Defenders about this, and they were so excited to hear that people in Geneva were here to listen to their voice, to listen to their initiative. It truly means the world. As we talked about, I like to say the Youth Charter Initiatives, we're kind of like humanitarian underdogs. People kind of look down on us, oh, people in prison. I don't think, as we talk about the stigma that surrounds how people see children in prison, people in prison, it's an inherently difficult plight. And for these Youth Charter Defenders, it can be a very lonely plight as well. And so the creation of the community, that's what we're trying to provide a structure of hope and a structure of collaboration. And right now, by being here tonight, you are contributing to that structure of hope in an enormous way. So thank you for your participation and for your being here tonight. I something that my mom would tell me very often, and it's the story of this boy that she met when she was in Cambodia in the 90s. Oh, yeah, there they are. I mean, also, the other benefit of having them up here is they can talk your ear off about the program afterwards. So a little bit of a double benefit. Sorry, I interrupted myself. This story about this boy that she met in the 90s in Cambodia, it was a baby boy, a toddler. His name was Vishna, and he was born in prison because his mother committed a crime. And what Vishna would do every single day is climb up the bars, go through the little gap, climb down, and he would visit honestly, someone would see this situation and they would feel pity. They would think, what can this one boy do? Well, this boy every day climbing up, reaching through the bars. By the time my mom met him, he was 3 or 4, so it was actually really hard for him to go through the bars. But this boy going through the bars every single day, saying hello to all the prisoners, was honestly a source of inspiration and a source of joy to every single prisoner out there. And so the mentality and the spirit of Vishnu and what he embodies, it's doing what you can, no matter what people tell you. People putting these structures on you, saying that you can't do this, or what is it that you can do. At the end of the day, Vishnu did what he could to bring hope and joy. Also, at the end, he was released. He didn't spend all of his time in the jail. So just to finish that story up, all the youth chartered offenders, they do exactly that. They do what they can do with the resources that they find. They find a way to help children in prison. And so my call to you is also to do what you can do. Like Vishna, what matters is doing an action, doing something. And you already being here tonight, that is something very significant and that we deeply appreciate. So thank you very much for joining us. And finally, we have a very special treat from the Geneva Gospel Choir.
When the night has come and the land is dark, when the moon is the only light we'll see, no, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. Oh, darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me.
Look at what we can accomplish when we stand next to those who are standing for justice. Look what came from an idea, from a seed, from a step. We now have youth educating themselves, being equipped, being inspired, and now moving to stand with youth to equip and inspire. Look at the impact that has already been had. So how does your story connect to this story? And how can we stand together, youth with youth, older adults with younger adults, youth with children? How can we stand together in this world for justice? Please stand and sing with us as we wrap it up, close it out, and move into a wonderful reception together.
Darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, won't stand by me. Darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Won't you stand now? Won't you stand by me. Won't you stand, oh stand by me. Won't you stand now, oh stand by me.
In actuality, what we're asking you to do is stand by this youth project, please. Thank you.
All right, thank you for standing by us. Now it's time for our wonderful apéro. And the workshop, yes, you should go to the workshop. It's incredible. All right, thank you.
Thanks everybody for watching. See y'all later.